makes it a heck of a lot easier. But it's a big transition because I played a lot of tennis too, and I used to hate the kitchen. Okay, but I understand because without the kitchen, you couldn't play pickleball. It'd be crazy. Everybody be up in the net slamming everything back. But I love the game. And so I've been playing it now for about 6 years, and and I've gotten pretty good at it. And in fact, I just was talking to the people at the Huntsman World Senior Games where I've played before. So I'm getting ready to go back there and defend some championships that I have. And but I'm going to play singles this year for the first time. And you have to have goals in life. So your goal is to try and be as good as you can be. So I was pretty successful in what I did previously, but I've won World Seniors, I've won U.S. Nationals, I've won USA Net Pickleball Nationals and U.S. Opens, but I've never played singles. So you've heard Anna Lee has, of course, won a lot of triple crowns. You know, women's singles, mixed doubles, and women's doubles. So I'm going to try to do that next year. I'm going to be quite old, so I'm going to try to play all three of those events: singles, men's doubles, and mixed doubles. And I'm going to try to win triple crowns in the 3 major tournaments next year. So that's my goal, and I'm starting to work on that and train for it.
That's awesome.
So what's the hardest part of the game for you for the transition? What was hardest for you?
I'm not sure about that one. I think just getting used to playing with a partner mostly. Like trying to figure out how to communicate and just learning what they do and how to like feed off of that, kind of, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. Well, because it's totally different. When you play mixed doubles, the men tries to come over and dominate, 3/4 of the court. And when I play with my partners, I try to just let them play. I don't try to do that. I mean, I'll go after balls if I'm playing the left side so I can use my forehand to get to the middle. But if I'm going to let them play, because they know that the other team is going to go after them. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so let's see how they do. And if they're having a difficult time or something, then I'm going to have to try to be more aggressive and maybe take some more shots. But I want her to hold her own, to be perfectly honest. And so actually right now I'm on a master search. I'm on a USA world search here, not world, but United States search. I'm trying to find that everybody I know, all the pickleball players and all the people all over the country, I'm trying to find an 80-year-old woman who's at least a 4-0 person that can play with me next year, because I'm going to be 80 years old next year. And so I got to get somebody that's good enough to be my partner to play in that mixed doubles thing. So that's I have my partner for men's, and I'm going to play singles. So I've got to find that woman. So if you run across an 80-year-old woman who's a 4-0 or a 4-5, let me know, will you please?
I'll take a look at the next tournament.
Yeah, we will, because we know there's a lot of older people around where we live. So.
Where do you live? Where are you living?
Destin, Florida.
Oh, Destin, sure. Yeah, I'm actually a Florida resident. I've been in Colorado Springs for 35 more years, and I spend this time of the year here, and then I go back to Florida. I'm down from you guys down south near Sarasota, and live in Lakewood Ranch, so I'm not far. I've been to Destin before. It's nice up there, and of course the beauty of that is you can basically play all year round. It doesn't get crazy nuts. That's the nice part about it. Yeah. So that's cool. So you've played some tournaments. So you're just playing singles and mixed doubles, or you're playing men's doubles, mixed doubles, or women's doubles, or all three?
So I've really focused on women's doubles for the last year. So I'm just now getting into mixed doubles. I just got a really, really great mixed partner, and I'm really excited to play with him. And I'm also going to try to start to get into singles more, because I think that's really important.
Yeah, well, singles is the hardest part. Yeah, and that's tough. That's a lot of work. That's why so many people play, doubles, because it doesn't beat your body up as much, but you got to work so much harder in singles. There's no question. And that's the one area that, okay, he started recording on us. That's okay. Not a problem.
No, I have to, because I have to start this one.
Well, right? I thought you already started.
I'm just putting it together. I've got here.
Well, we had all this great stuff that we had over here. I was trying to make it easy for you,
I know.
And you were.
All right, I'm gonna start this thing right now. So bear with me. I'm gonna do this right now. So hold that thought for just a moment, and here we go.
Okay. So go ahead and introduce this. It's not my show, it's your show.
You can. Yes. Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV mobile studio, AAMP TV. Today's show is brought to you by UppercutChops.com. Check out their tasty selection of all-natural, dry-aged USDA Prime Angus and Wagyu steaks and chops. Wait till you try their best-in-class New York steaks, the filet mignon, and of course, the king of all, those massive cowboy cut and tomahawk cut ribeyes. Best I've ever had, probably the best you ever had as well. Even those half-pound Wagyu burgers, certainly the best I've ever had. Find out what's for dinner at UppercutChops.com or give them a call at 702-799-9935, 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935 for UppercutChops.com. And a big welcome into everybody listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates and independents from Honolulu all the way down to Southwest Florida, a whole bunch of points in between. Right from the very top, joined by a couple, actually by a few very special guests. And we're going to start with the eldest of the group. Go ahead and introduce yourself, young man.
Well, you're obviously not talking to me, young man. Rick Barry, former NBA basketball player. Happy to be on here with Sal. I love the music entering into it. All of us have always been to the circus at some time in our lives, but I'm excited about the guest that you're bringing on to talk about my new passion in life, which is pickleball.
That's great stuff. And by the way, we have another guest. We have a surprise guest, by the way, rock star. And we'll let him introduce himself and, of course, his daughter as well.
Hey, I'm Mitch Malloy.
I'm Eden Malloy.
Boom. She's the
is.
rock star.
Right. Right. Well, in any event, I think everybody here, with the exception of me, is a rock star, if you know what I mean. Right? But anyway, so look, we started this show a little earlier. Look, it's live, folks. Get over it. Whatever we're doing here, we don't cut it out. We don't fix it in the mix. It's out there. So if you missed any part of the pre-dialogue, everybody welcome, and also on YouTube, by the way. So everybody there got a chance to get a little sneak preview of what we're talking about. And welcome in everybody on Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Frontier, Time Warner, Wild Cable Television, and Hotel TV in over 600,000 rooms from coast to coast in all Nielsen rated markets. Yes, so you can't get away from us, folks. So anyway, here's Rick Barry, Pro Basketball Hall of Famer, College Basketball Hall of Fame. He's kind of done it all. And by the way, he introduced me to the idea of something called pickleball a few years ago. Started telling me about it. And I'm like, well, what the heck is that? I'm thinking a hot dog with a ball. I'm thinking a hot dog with a pickle on it, whatever the case. But it's kind of like tiny tennis, but not. And so he started telling me about this. Of course, he's a phenomenal fisherman. And then I'm talking to my friend Mitch, and he tells me that his daughter, Eden, is a pickleball player. So I'm thinking, this would be a fun opportunity, because also my friend Jack, Dr. Jack Llewellyn, his client happens to be the #1 pickleball player in the world on top of it. So this whole kooky thing kind of works. And here we have Rick, he's been in the pickleball rodeo for a while, and Eden's been in this for quite a while as well. So pick up where you two left off. I don't want to interrupt anything, please. I had to do that just to start the show.
Yeah, no problem. We had a good talk before, those people who were listening before and those just joining us. And I've been asking Eden and, Mitch, I found out about him and, his career also in the music industry. But Eden's been at this for a couple of years. I've been at it about 6 years. And she's gotten, the bug has bitten her, I guess. She was a tennis player, and she went out and played it and decided that she was going to go after. And obviously she's got a role model. You talked about the greatest women's player in the world right now is Anna Lee Waters, who I've had the pleasure of meeting and spoken with, and her mom, who's not playing with her anymore. But she's incredible. I've watched her play. She's won many triple crowns, which is winning women's singles, mixed doubles, and women's doubles in tournaments. She's done that on multiple occasions. In fact, Eden, you'll get a kick out of this, because when I met them, I talked to her mom and I told her mother I was jealous. And she said, of what? I said, well, I have a lot of boys that have all played basketball, but I never got to play with them on the professional level. And so she had a chance to do that with her mom. And so she said, yeah, you're right. It's special. But my time is coming. And that was a few years ago. So now, she got hurt. Now she's out. But I said to Anna Lee, I said, do you realize that you've done something that's never going to be accomplished again? And she said, what are you talking about? I said, well, what you've done at 15 and 16 years of age, I don't think is ever going to be duplicated, because more and more people are getting, it's the fastest growing sport in the country and maybe in the world now.
Yeah.
So many players are coming into this now, and older players, former women tennis players, and the competition is getting really intense. And I don't think, and I'm not saying, and maybe you could be the one to do it and prove me wrong. I hope you are, but I don't think a 15 or 16-year-old young lady is going to come in and be able to win triple crowns on the professional level. It's just going to be way too difficult because of the amount of really outstanding athletes that are going to come and play the sport. So, you've got a major task ahead of you, but hey, if you work at it and you've got skill and you got talent, you should go for it. I mean, you have to have dreams in life. You have to have goals. And as I said, I'm setting my goal to try to win a triple crown in my age category next year. I'm going to play singles for the first time. And so tell people about the transition that you're making, because you first started out just playing women's doubles, correct?
Yeah, I played women's doubles for about a year, and I'm just now getting into mixed doubles, which is kind of late, but better late than never. So
yeah, well, the big one is the singles. I mean, you're really going to need to do that. But you can. There's a couple of ladies. I know some of them on the pro circuit that she's really good. I've played actually with her in some exhibitions in mixed doubles, but she just doesn't play singles. She just decided she didn't want to do that. But I think at your age and stuff, and if you're a good athlete and have an opportunity to do it, you should certainly try it. And to me, if I were you, I mean, my goal would be to try to see win in as many events as you can in all three of the different categories. And then the big key, as you know, is finding a good partner, because just like any sport, the object when you play against competition is you play to the opponent's weakness. So if your partner isn't as good as you, I mean, I've played in some mixed doubles, seriously, in some tournaments that I was lucky to ever see a ball. I mean, they just hit everything at my partner. And so you have to make the adjustment, and you have to have a partner who's pretty good to help you along the way. So hopefully you'll find somebody in the men's but the singles will be the one. So are you taking any lessons from someone? Are you training with someone?
Yeah, I'm coaching under Adam Drysdale, who lives here. He was my tennis coach a little while back, so I already know him, which is great. But I've done a few lessons with him, and I'm hoping to stick with it. I really enjoy them.
How have you done in tournament played? And I just need to know real quick.
Rick, I want you to hold that thought for a moment, because for all the people just tuning in, they may not know what the difference between tennis and pickleball is. What are the big rule differences, and how does the game work for everybody that doesn't know?
Oh, it's a major difference. Tell them what you felt the biggest difference was, Eden.
Definitely the kitchen. Like, there are just so many rules surrounding that. I mean, it's a whole space that you're not allowed to go in unless you do certain things. So it's like really big difference.
Yeah, I hated the kitchen when I first started playing, because I used to go to the net all the time when I played, because I hadn't played a lot of tennis. My ground strokes sucked, and so I didn't want to stay back and stay at the baseline. And at my size and height and my reaction, I would get to the net, and then, hey, you're going to have to pass me. And if you're going to try to hit a lob, it's going to have to be a great topspin lob, because I'm going to get. And so that was my game. And so the kitchen, so people who don't know, this is a 7-foot area between the kitchen and the first line on the court. It's basically a court with 4 rectangular squares and that 7-foot line in front of the net. And you can't go in there unless the ball bounces in there. And if it bounces, you can go in there and hit it, but then you got to get out, because if the ball touches you when you're in the kitchen, you lose the point, or you lose your serve if you were serving. So that's the biggest thing and the adjustment to make. Now, you probably can appreciate this, Eden. At my size and reach, I have an advantage being at the kitchen line, because that's where you want to be in doubles. You want to control the kitchen line, but I can reach balls that other people would have to let bounce and still hit it on the fly. And so if people get the ball a little bit higher on the net, I can get to a ball that a lot of people can't get to. So having the arm length and stuff is definitely an advantage, but it's such a fun game. In fact, you remember the big $1 million shootout they had with McEnroe and Andre Agassi and Roddick and Michael Chang. So I knew 3 of those guys. I hadn't met Roddick before, but I knew Andre Agassi when he was studying at Nick Bollettieri's as a kid. And so, and I've known him for a long time, and I've known John for a long time. So I went down to watch that, and they picked it up pretty quickly. I think Andre had the best line of all. He said, "Okay, pickleball, I can see it now. Pickleball is going to be where tennis pros go to die. They're going to go. They're going to go play pickleball, because they're going to be able to play pickleball." And Andre's wife, Steffi Graf, is playing too. and they got her out there on the court. So it's fun to see what it's doing. But in your case, I would say, well, I want to get my question again back because I told you that's the biggest difference. The other thing is serving wise, you can't serve. It has to be below the waist. Right. So the serve is not a weapon. However, I've worked really hard at being able to hit a really good top spin. And again, because below my waist is higher than other people's waist. So it's the same way in tennis. I could hit the ball. So you'd appreciate this, Eden. I can hit the ball 9 inches flat over the service, over the net, and get it in the box. That's a huge advantage. That's a huge advantage in tennis. Now in pickleball, I also have the same thing because of where I'm hitting from, that I can hit the ball pretty darn hard and put a lot of topspin on it and become not an easy serve to get back. And I actually can angle it some. And so I think that's going to be a real advantage for me when I play singles against a bunch of the other old guys that are going to be out there, because I can move still pretty good. But I found that that's something that you want to see. The serve is not a weapon. It's basically serve it and try to get it as deep as you can, basically to the middle. And then you and your partner, because your partner stays back with you in regular tennis. So people know your partner stays up near the net. The person is serving back here. But in pickleball, you both have to stay behind the baseline, because one of the big changes in rules is the return of serve has to bounce on your side of the court before you can play it. And I think that was one of the big adjustments as far as tennis is concerned going into pickleball. So
hold that thought. We're going to be back here with Pro Basketball Hall of Famer Rick Barry and Eden Malloy and Mitch Malloy in just a few minutes here on the Circus. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come. Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime national. Tell you what, let's kill that commercial. We can just keep the dialogue going. Everybody's streaming. They'll be able to hear this. I'll go ahead and fix that for the TV side so we can just carry on the conversation. I have no choice. I have to take the hard breaks. Okay. But anyway, it's a fun conversation. That's why I was like, I'm going to put this together, because here, these people have a lot to talk about. And a lot of people like me, I don't know the rules of pickleball. And so they get to learn about it from a longstanding player and a longstanding player, but from two different age groups, which they play the same damn game, which is outstanding. It actually works.
Yeah. It does. I mean, that's the beauty of it. And you can, whether you're, in your 80s or 90s. In fact, my 90-year-old father-in-law is playing pickleball, and his 88-year-old wife they're playing pickleball now, and they were tennis players. So it's pretty cool. So, Mitch, I got a question for you. So are you playing pickleball now so you get out there with your daughter?
I've played a few times, but not many. And it's funny because the whole thing about the rules, I'm like, what are the rules again? Like, you know what I mean? I played tennis a little bit as a kid, but not a lot. So I am an athlete. I played basketball mostly in high school, and probably could have played in college, but I chose music instead. But yeah, so I love athletics, but I've played maybe 3-4.
You've played about 4 times.
4 times. Not much.
I would highly recommend that you get into it, because you'll love it yourself, but also you can help her.
Yeah. Well,
you can practice. No, seriously, if she's going to get into singles, you can be playing with her, and it'll be good for her to play against a man and somebody there, because it's kind of like, I remember, as I say, I was friends with a lot of the tennis players and all. I remember when Chrissy Everett is a friend of mine and all, when she was married to John Lloyd, I happened to be with him in Indian Wells, and they were practicing together. And I remember one time John's hitting the shot. John, why are you hitting the ball so hard? I never get a ball hit to me that hard when I play. And so the thing is, if she can play and compete against you, if you get to be a good player, it's going to make it easier for her when she plays against the women. So and it'd be fun for you. And then you could go sometime and, and just a fun tournament, not, on the professional level, go and play with her.
Yeah. And I will, and I do. And everything you're saying is right, but we've sort of one-upped that, because her new coach has kind of brought her in. He's really highly ranked, actually. And he's a top 100 player. He's a tennis pro and all that. So good. He's taken her in, and she's playing with him against other guys that he coaches.
Perfect. That's perfect.
So it's better than playing against me.
Well, that's true. But
coming back, guys.
You could have fun playing with her.
Hold on. Here we go.
You're listening to the Sports Circus, and I'm Mike Dolan.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm Roy Firestone. Now it's time to throw it back to Sal.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the MTV mobile studio, AAMP TV. Folks, this segment is brought to you by one of our superstar guests, and it happens to be Pro Basketball Hall of Famer. That'd be Rick Barry. And Rick, I know you're involved in things on the business side, things on the personal side. You're a great fisherman, but I think you also have some fun business things going on out there. Why don't you tell everybody what's going on in the world of Rick Barry outside of pickleball?
Oh, I'm involved in a million different things. I didn't hear the word million when I played basketball, so I still have to work for a living. The lowest paid guy in the NBA this past season will have made twice as much money as I made in the best year I ever had. He never plays. So these guys are very, very fortunate. But I'm involved in the cannabinoid world, allomd.com, and also medicilleaf.com, medicilleaf.com. Some amazing products. I use them every single day. And then if you got bad knees or elbows or Achilles and things, you can go to gosleeves.com, GOSLEEVES.com. And if you remember the code, my initials RB and my number 24, RB24, you get a big discount on them. So just read about them and check them out. But I want to get back to talking to our other guests here, because I'm fascinated by the fact that Eden Malloy she saw Anna Lee Waters, the top female player in pickleball in the world, in all three areas: mixed doubles, men's, women's doubles, and singles. And that's been a motivation for her to decide that she wanted to switch over from tennis to pickleball. So Eden, tell us a little bit about what your plans are. But before you do that, some of the tournaments you've played and how well have you done? Have you won a tournament at all?
Yes, I've placed in every tournament I've played, I'm really thankful for that. I've won 5 gold medals, 2 silvers, and 1 bronze.
Nice.
So
was that in mixed doubles? All mixed doubles?
Those are actually all in
Women's doubles.
Women's doubles. Okay.
Yeah.
So you must have a pretty good partner. You play with the same person every time?
Yes, the same person every time. But unfortunately, she's leaving for about 6 months on a road trip with her family. So.
Okay. How old is she?
She's 41.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like Anna Lee playing with her mom, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Same. Yeah. Kind of similar. Yeah.
Nice. And so what are your plans moving forward now?
Well, I'm really hoping to focus on mixed and singles a lot more. If I can just get up and level a bit more, that would be great. And I'm gonna try to find a new doubles partner,
Right.
just for the time being.
What's your level right now?
Right now, I'm at 3.5.
Okay. All right. So just so people don't know, she's got to get up. The pros are up at 5, and 6 and stuff. 5 is a really high level for players like myself. I mean, my goal probably, well, we'll find out. I mean, in singles, I'll find out whether I'm going to, how good I can be in singles when I start playing in my age category. So that's the whole thing. It's done in age. In her case, she's going to be playing open. So she's going to be playing from younger ones all the way up to anybody who still wants to play. Even if they're 60 or 65, you can still play in the open division. But it's highly competitive. So she's got 3.5. So she's got a ways to go, to get up to the point where she was going to be able to compete. So I know you're obviously well aware of that. And just the time and the effort is all it is. You've got a good coach and you're willing to put the time and effort into it. There's no reason why you can't get, to that point.
Right. I'm just trying to play a few games in each ranking so that I can really soak in everything I need to know, and I can really just take my time and learn everything I need to learn.
So are you going into PPA events that are going on around the country or just local tournaments?
I go all around the country and I try to do some local ones as well.
Well, I go to some of the PPA events. I mean, so if you ever get to one, I keep in touch. I'm going to try to follow your career and see how you do. And maybe I'll be at an event where you're at and we'll have an opportunity to meet in person. That would be kind of fun. But yeah, I was going to a lot of them, but the problem you'll understand is at my age and all, I can get better pickleball and improve my game staying here and playing with people I know, whether I'm in Colorado or in Florida, because going to these tournaments, the competition just isn't that good at that age and skill level. I'm at 4 or 5 now and playing. And so it's really hard to find somebody at my age category can play. So I actually won one of the national tournaments playing at 65 to 69, people that are 15 years younger almost than I am. And it's fine because, as long if your skill level is the age is not critical. It's the skill level that's most important. Now, you play against younger people, they're going to be a little faster, have a little more endurance and stuff, but you can still compete with them. In your case, you're going to be playing against sometimes like older people who are going to have more experience.
Yeah.
Mostly she does that, actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, she has to play against all these. She's not going to find that many people who are
She's only
playing,
15.
playing two 15-year-olds playing, that's not going to happen. You're going to be just like you're doing. So you're doing the right thing. And that's great that you have a really good teacher. That's the most important thing, because the fundamentals are critical. Understanding the game and knowing what to do with the talent that you have to be able to maximize it. There's guys playing in the NBA today that will never be as good as they should be because they weren't taught how to play the game the correct way. And so they can't ever fully maximize their talent level,
Right.
but
Yeah.
because they don't know how to use it properly. So you're being taught how to use it. And again, you said it at the start before we started the actual show, that you are learning about how to play with your partner, learning from where you need to be, at the type of shots where you have to hit it. I've had the good fortune. I played and won the USA Pickleball National Championship last year with my partner, who's a Hall of Fame player, who's a little bit younger than I am, but he's in the Hall of Fame in pickleball. I call him Yoda, kind of like the teacher from Star Wars. And he wrote a book about it, talking about it. And so I learned a lot when I play with people. So keep doing that. So I'm looking forward to seeing. Hopefully we can meet sometime at one of the tournaments. So that'd be great. I'll make sure that Sal gives you my cell number, and you can send me your contact information. It'd be great to be able to meet you someday.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you. I wish you all the best with your goal to become a professional pickleball player, and just stick with it. Don't get frustrated. Remember, you're not a perfect human being. You're going to make mistakes. And I try to tell young people all the time that an intelligent person learns from their mistakes. Somebody once said, it wasn't attributed to anybody, the fastest way to learn to do something right is to do it wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's learned a great deal playing with people better than her, and she's doing that now a lot because with the new coach and being ranked and everything. So we're excited about her growth. She's really learning fast. So
cool. You got anybody sponsoring you? You got a paddle manufacturer that's sponsoring you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who
Hudef.
What is it?
It's called Hudef. Is there a paddle?
Okay.
Yeah, it's really nice stuff. Really great rackets.
Yeah, I love
paddles. They're paddles. They're paddles.
Paddles. Yes.
Yeah, paddle.
The paddles.
Yeah, I know. I made the same mistake myself, and I would say rackets. They're paddles. They're paddles.
Yeah, here's
Good.
one of the newer paddles. I play with this one all the time. I love it. I love the handle. I love the feel of it. I mean, I don't want to use any other paddle really.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I mean, I'm assuming that it's probably got great feel, and you probably get a lot of spin on the ball. That's the most important thing for it. I'm actually using a longer one. I'm using a different one. I do stuff and doing things with. I wouldn't even say who I used to be playing with and everything. But anyway, I used the long one. It's the Invicta that they have. It's the longer one because, the reach, if you know you're going to be hitting it towards the middle, you don't necessarily need the wider part. But if you can, you get a little bit longer, be able to reach and get some balls and do it. Because that's an important part of it. So anyway, hopefully it'll work out, and we'll see how it goes. And yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be great.
By the way, I love that shirt. It says "Support our troops."
Yeah. I'm a big. As I said, I've been in Colorado Springs for a long time. It's one of the biggest Army bases, and I just don't think the country would be what it is today without our troops. And I just don't think that they're treated as well as they should be treated. They put their lives on the line for us, and they should be taken care of when they come home. And it's kind of discouraging sometimes when you see. The lack of caring on so many people's parts, and hopefully it's going to get better. I really do hope that that's the case. Yeah, that's bothersome to me, to be perfectly honest. So that and the American Indians, I mean, we need, that's another one that drives me crazy because I think we took their country away from them. So I think we should be treating them a little bit better. But I'm not going to get into politics, okay? Please don't.
We're right next.
I don't want to ruin my day or everybody else's day to start.
I just commented
about
that I like your shirt, and I think your shirt, absolutely everybody should be wearing a shirt like that. I think it's good stuff. I have all kinds of those here. But hey, let's face it, this is about pickleball. And Rick, I know you're a busy guy. and you're doing this, you're doing that. And hey, real quick, how can everybody follow you? I'm not sure if you could stick around for the next segment, but in case you cannot, how can everybody follow you again?
Rick24 Barry on the social media stuff that I'm getting into doing a little bit more of that. Rick24 Barry. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. I'm really excited about being a part of the pickleball world, and I'm in the process of working on trying to see about actually getting a show on television about pickleball, and another show about my adventure next year to try to get those triple crowns in the events, to do like a reality thing, and then maybe also some fishing show. Mitch, are you into fishing?
I grew up fishing. I'm from North Dakota, so I was fishing in the rivers and lakes and dams. Growing up, we had a dam, a river right behind my house, and then a dam just down the road I would walk to. And then we had a summer place in Minnesota. So all summer long, I would fish in the lakes. So I was really.
I never done musky stuff. I actually got back from it was unbelievable. Peacock bass in the Amazon jungle, unbelievable.
Wow.
Guys, hold that thought for just a moment. I want to make sure we exit out. Rick, can you stick around with us for another segment?
Sure.
All right, that's great stuff, folks. We're going to be back here with pro basketball.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I have to tell you, I can't. I just realized the time, and time has flown by. I actually have a 2:00 appointment, so I'm going to have to go. But let me just throw out: I do Selkirk, so it's another one of the paddles. I should mention the fact that Selkirk is the one, and I love their stuff. So anyway, hey, Mitch, great to meet you. Eden,
nice
great to meet you. And feel free, please give them my cell number and information, and send me your contact information. Hope to see you down the road. Sal, always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. We'll talk
Rick.
soon.
All right.
Rick.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, you two. Hey, you never know what the hell's going to happen here. It's one of those things. But a fun conversation with Rick, and a very candid guy, just a big personality.
Yes.
And that's why I was like, I'm going to put you guys together because it seems to work.
Yeah, really smart guy. Passionate guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And I enjoy talking to him because normally for Rick and myself, it's, basketball at some point will find its way in the conversation, but typically I spend a lot of time talking fishing with him.
Yeah, I could tell he's really into it. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll travel around the world and do some of the greatest fishing. He does excursions as well. I guess he has a company that does that. And I brought him on last time he was on the show. It was, I want to say it was 3 years ago. It's been a while. So I just called him up like, hey, I've got a pickleball player that wants to talk to you. Oh, really? I'm in. Right. And so it happened that we were talking in the last one. I asked him to join me because I was on with the Miami Marlins pitching coach, Mel Stottlemyre Jr. And I know he knew his dad, and Mel lost his dad, Mel Sr. So they got a chance to kind of go down the memory lane with Rick, would be able to fill in some great stories for Mel Jr. And it was a really good dynamic on the show. It was outstanding. Just a conversation just like what was happening here. And I didn't want to stop. I was like, all right, well, just keep on going. Right. Yeah. And so when I was like, we have 1 minute, right? Like right now we're coming back from break in 1 minute, but reality is all of this YouTube dialogue, I'm leaving it there on their server, which is great. But when it comes to regular TV distribution and radio, I'm going to chop out the in-between stuff, just so you know, because I have to do that. Yeah. But it's fun for the audience because they get the in-between. Like Mitch, when you had Pete on, you and Pete were talking in between, and everything that was going on, it was golden because it was like the off-camera stuff. But
right,
what we're doing here. And of course, Mitch, you get a chance to plug everything you're doing because you can. But too bad I don't have a copy of your audio file. Maybe I could find one. What song should I be looking for real quick?
Probably the easiest way to find the audio would be to go to my YouTube channel and get from the video.
Okay.
You could do that.
What's the name of the song real quick? Here we go.
One of a Kind.
Hey, everybody. This is Barry Katz from the Industry Standard Podcast, and you're listening to the Sports Circus with Sal Tuzzolino.
I could go grab it. Grab it. Yeah, it's on my desk. You did.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV mobile studio, AAMP TV. This segment is brought to you in part by our rock star friend, Mitch Malloy. He's got some new material out there. We're going to get a chance to play some of that in just a moment. And here's Mitch to tell you all about his new material.
Hey, it's Mitch Malloy. I have a new CD. It's coming out July 7th, actually, so in about a week. And it's called The Last Song, and that's the CD right there. Look at that.
Tell everybody about what they can expect with your new CD.
You know, that's really hard to do. It's hard to talk about music. It's hard to describe what the music is. You know what I mean? It's melodic rock. I grew up on the Beatles, so it's very much like that. You know, the song structure is very melodic, and I made the record alone by myself in the studio. So the second time I've done that, I play everything and produce it, mix, and it's fantastic. And this is Eden Malloy, my daughter. Pickleball star.
So right, and we're gonna get right back to Eden in just a moment. So One of a Kind would be your new hit. Is that not correct?
Yeah, that's the new release, and there's a video on YouTube. Mitch Malloy, One of a Kind. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, Mitch Malloy. And here's what we're trying to do, folks. Right now, as we go through this exercise, we're trying to pull up the audio feed. So, of course, we've got Mitch here, so we won't have any copyright issues because, well, let's face it, we can play it. And Mitch, can you hear it?
Yes, it sounds exactly like that.
There it is. Hold on, folks. It's live. Anything could happen. When we switch to full screen and we go from one screen, well, what ends up happening sometimes is we lose our audio feed. But guess what? The great thing about technology today is we can always get that back. Like right now, we're coming back with it.
Yeah, you've been lonely too long. You feel like you want it only. Oh. Like you don't belong. Time wondering, seems like you try. Feel like giving up. 'Cause you're not enough. You've been heading down the wrong path. You've been taking the wrong direction. More than you wanna. Stop trying to be someone else. Open your heart and your mind. Just be yourself. Be one of a kind. Yeah, it's a life sentence. Yeah, it's a life lost. It's all a repentance. Yeah, yeah. All a great cause. Searching for some sanity.
All right, so Mitch, what we're going to do, we just gave the audience a little preview. Maybe we'll go out on break to that. I want to get back to pickleball and Eden, because Eden is the star of today's show. It certainly isn't me, and it certainly isn't rock star Mitch Malloy. It is Eden Malloy. And Eden was just, folks, in case you're just tuning in, we're playing a song from Mitch's new CD, right? That's really good stuff. We're going to get back to that. But in the first couple segments, we had Eden Malloy on, who is a young pickleball superstar. We had her on with Pro Basketball Hall of Famer, and that was Rick Barry. What an outstanding opportunity to talk to somebody that's been in the rodeo for a minute, but plays a different pickleball game, so to say, for age groups and stuff like that. And because he has incredible reach, the guy's is like 9'12". He plays a very different game. So, Eden, how do you make up for the super tall people in the pickleball world, maybe even in your age group? Does that give you an advantage or disadvantage? Or talk to me about it. Maybe they don't have the dexterity that you do. How does that work? And you're actually pretty tall yourself. I think 5'9", correct?
5'8", yes.
I was trying to give you the extra inch.
Well, there's hope.
Go into the extra inch for sure.
I could use that extra inch, but I do have some very tall people that I get to play against just on rec play for fun, which is a really great opportunity so that I'm prepared for tournaments like that. But I'd say there are definitely advantages and disadvantages, but it mostly just depends on the person and how they play, what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are. But it's definitely not easy.
Well, so folks, why are we talking about this in the first place? Because number one, pickleball is a really hot thing and it's going to be around for a very long time. But we also do a student athlete spotlight. So here, Eden's 15 years of age. She just turned 15. She's also a phenomenal student, and she just happens to be a phenomenal pickleball player. So I want to turn to school for a moment here, because your situation for school is a little bit different than the average student. Talk to us about that.
So I do homeschool. It's all like virtual, it's all online. But which makes it easier to travel. It gives me more flexibility for just going out and playing in the middle of the day. I've definitely fallen behind a little bit due to pickleball, because I just spend 24 hours a day playing, but
She's way ahead anyways.
I'm where I need to be. So I wouldn't say I'm behind, but I'm just
not as ahead.
not as focused.
So I'm hearing a voice in the background somewhere. Who is that coming from?
That's my mother.
Right. And of
always
course,
close.
that would be Faith, and another rock star in her business as well. I mean, so this is a house loaded with stars. Kind of a fun thing. And too bad Faith can't come on the screen and say hello. We'd like to see her if she'd like to. Let's see. They're looking a little bit to the side, saying, you want to come on? What do you think?
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, we're acknowledging her because obviously without your mom, well, chances are, well, you probably wouldn't be here, right? The same thing, of course, with dear old dad, because let's face it, it takes two to tango, if you know what I mean. So the good news is we have a student athlete, somebody who pays attention to their studies. And let's face it, the education system sometimes is in question. Now, you happen to be in Florida, where technically the high schools are good there. They're good in Florida. They're good in Texas and Arizona. Those are the best high schools in the nation. I can say that for the last many years. I've been an academic recruiter for one of America's top universities. And I know this for a fact. So the good news is, even if you did go to the public school system, it's not atrocious. But I can say, even here in our home state of Nevada, these are the worst schools next to Mississippi in the nation. Of course, they deserve an astounding round of boos because they're awful. Yes, we have entertainment here, but we don't have good schools. So the good news is you have parents that really care about your studies. And take 1 minute real quick and talk about that work, basically pickleball, the pickleball and school balance. What does that look like on a day-to-day basis?
So really, I I try to get school done first unless I'm playing in the mornings, but I try to get at least 2 things done, which with my schedule it keeps me balanced. So I'll do that, and then I'll try to schedule when I play pickleball so that I have a good sense of time and have it laid out. So it's not very overwhelming though, which is nice. It's just school is school. So there's that.
But she is, like you said, a fantastic student. I mean, she's a straight A student, and you know, since she's been homeschooled, which has been the last 4+ years since we've been here in Florida, her grades have just gone like, so it's been a really positive experience for us all around.
All right, that's good stuff. All right, folks, we're going to be back here in just a few moments. And here is another clip from One of a Kind from Mitch Malloy. Make sure you go to mitchmalloy.com and check him out, because this guy knows what he's doing, and he is a bona fide rock star. Back here in a few minutes on The Circus. Don't go anywhere.
You've been taking the you want to you want to stop trying to be someone else. In your heart, in your mind, be one of a kind. Still time to be yourself.
Good mama.
All right, folks, we're going to be back in just a minute with Mitch and with Eden. All right, so we're on a little bit of a break here. And Mitch, I thought I would give you a little bit of play and plug just because I can. Hope it's working. Right, all right. And we get some interruptions. I can't help it because that's the stream. And when you pull it from online, sometimes that happens because I've got literally like 10 things open up on the computer. Look at the puppy. Oh, that's wonderful. Go puppy. See, now you're making me want to go get my puppies. All right, I'll be right back. Now I have to go get them.
It's puppy fest.
She wants that cookie.
So Eden,
That's me.
how much do you like pickleball?
A lot, I'd hope.
She loves pickleball. She's got five gold medals.
5 gold medals.
5 gold medals. In fact, your first tournament, you got a gold medal, didn't you?
No, I got silver.
Oh, but I thought they changed it to gold on that one.
No,
Okay.
that's
Weird
my
age thing.
second one.
There you
Oh,
go.
look at that.
Aw.
Oh,
I know. Look, there's your friend.
they can meet. Luna, look,
It's your friend. Who's your friend? I know. Oh, thank
I'm
you.
not choking her.
That's
I would
wonderful.
never choke her.
I know. Go, puppy. I got to put this on a share screen, or not share,
Puppy
but
fest. Okay, Luna's done.
there we go.
She's
There,
gone.
now everybody can see. There we go. There they are.
Awesome.
Aw.
Good puppy.
They love their dad.
Look
Yeah,
at these two.
they love their daddy. It's
Go,
awesome.
puppies. All right. Okay, girls. Get down. They are a ton of work, and thank God I don't have to do all the work. I take them for walks, and that's about it.
Yeah, I do that as well. Yeah,
What kind of dog do you have?
she's an Aussie Doodle.
Australian Shepherd Poodle mix.
Okay. All right. We're coming back from break in 20 seconds, just so you know. So
Okay.
probably makes your trainer happy, right? Because your trainer guy is from down there, right?
Ah,
Yes,
yeah, he's Australian.
Okay.
maybe.
All right.
Put it somewhere.
All right. We have one more segment. All right. So We're coming back in 10 seconds. Oh, I just got a message. We love Puppy Fest. That's hilarious. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, wait. Why is it going to take me out to the ball game now? Oh, wow. Oh, well, we'll just keep it going. Let me see what the other looks like. 45? Yeah, we're right. I think I'm about a minute behind. Oh, I know why. I know why, because it was stalling a little bit. That's okay. I can do the audio correction. That's fine.
I told you. I know it sounds like that's what I thought too, but
Australian sounding to me.
Holy cow! This crowd is wild.
yeah, because
Hey, this is Tommy John, and you're listening to the Sports Circus.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Master Cell, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP TV. Folks, make sure you check out thesportcircus.com for our upcoming guests, our prior guests, our recorded shows, which are podcasts. No, we don't do a podcast. We just happen to have them on the podcast platform so everybody can listen to them. Also, make sure you check out the guest schedule. Lots of great guests on there. And of course, we're here with Eden Malloy, pickleball superstar, and of course, a very good student athlete as well. And there's dear old Dad with his arm around her, and Dad happens to be rock star Mitch Malloy. You've probably seen him if you've been to any rock concerts. This guy has been front guy for some pretty important bands out there, and he's got new material out there as well. And we'll give a final glimpse here for about a minute. That's Mitch Malloy's new CD. Mitch, tell everybody how they can find it real quick.
You can go to mitchmalloy.com. That's the easiest and the best way to stay in touch with all things that I do. You purchase from our website, you get an autographed CD. We've got new T-shirts. We've got guitar picks. We've got posters, pictures. And plus, there's the links to the Europeans. I don't know if this plays in Europe at all, but the Europeans can go to Cargo. And there's a link on the website. There's a link to Sing. Actually, if people who want vinyl, it's on an LP, vinyl LP as well. And they can get that from Sing Records. The links are all on mitchmalloy.com. And her website link will be on mitchmalloy.com as well soon.
Well, that's great. So Mitch, we're going to play just the last minute or so of One of a Kind for you because it's a new hit single that's out. And it's one of those songs on the CD, correct?
Yes, it's the second song on the CD. It's called One of a Kind, and it rocks, man. Doesn't it rock?
It rocks. All right. Rocks. So this is the last minute or so of the song. So enjoy, folks. We're giving a special preview right here on the Sports Circus.
Oh, been stuck in my head for a year. Oh,
Just be yourself. Be one child. Oh, yeah. All right. Be one child. Oh.
An astounding round of applause for our music insert. And there's a t-shirt.
That's the new t-shirt at mitchmalloy.com. You can buy these at mitchmalloy.com, and you can buy the new CD at mitchmalloy.com.
All right, that's good stuff. And Eden, I noticed you're not wearing a Mitch Malloy t-shirt. I guess, where's the Eden Malloy Pickleball Superstar shirts?
They're coming.
They're coming. We got new t-shirts coming, and she's sponsored by Who Def, which is a pickleball company, and they provide us with all kinds of lovely things. Yeah.
I've never played pickleball. I've never even played tennis. I played tiny tennis, right? So I played ping pong, and that's the extent of my racket and ball ensemble.
I have a feeling you're going to be playing pickleball soon, though. Something tells me.
We're coming back to Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
It could happen.
By the way, folks, in case you're just tuning in, make sure you go back to the recorded show, or if you're watching on YouTube, go back to the beginning. There's a great dialogue for the first half of the show between Pro Basketball Hall of Famer, College Basketball Hall of Famer, the great Rick Barry, world champion from the Golden State Warriors, and of course, with Eden Malloy, a budding superstar in the pickleball world. What a great dynamic it was. In case you missed it, make sure you go back and replay it. And if you like that music, make sure you go to mitchmalloy.com, check out that music, pick up that CD, the shirt, the hat, and all kind of great stuff. And that voice in the background, I have a feeling is by one of those big promoters of mitchmalloy.com as well. Is that not correct?
Yes, that would be Faith Malloy, the boss.
That's
her.
the boss.
Yeah.
Of course, Faith gets a round of applause because we have to give her one. But I want to finish up on this pickleball thing for just a moment here, because first of all, folks, there's a difference between pickleball and tennis and whatnot. For those people that don't know anything about what pickleball is, Eden, I want you to give a 30-second summary of what it is and how to really play it.
I would say it is a mini tennis, but there are definitely a lot of different rules. The rackets are smaller. The court is different. The rules are just a lot different. Yeah, you can't go on certain parts of the court unless certain things happen, but it's very detailed and very extreme, but it is so much fun. Oh my gosh.
She loves it.
How did you get involved playing pickleball in the first place?
So some of my neighbors actually, they invited me to come play, and I was like, okay, why not? And that was about a year and a half ago, and I started playing more and more. I would go to these little group sessions with friends, and I wanted to do that. That's what I wanted to do. So I got into it, and here I am.
So you could literally play pickleball in 4 seasons, right? I mean, hey, listen, I would love to see pickleball in the snow. Now that would be exciting, because when you play tennis on a clay court, you slide when you get to the ball sometimes, right? So you could almost do this in cold weather too. Is that a fair thing to say?
Probably, yeah.
It's funny. I just saw this morning a video of 2 guys playing on ice skates with pickleball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. They were amazing skaters and really good pickleball players at the same time. It was like watching a dance. It was amazing.
That's incredible. See, so I'm not the only one thinking kooky like this. I think
you called it. No, you called it. You go on YouTube. You can find it.
That's great. So Eden, we've got just a few minutes left in this show, and tell everybody how to follow you. Anything else you want them to know about you? If you don't want them to know anything except that Eden plays pickleball and watch for me, that's great too. But go ahead. You've got the floor. Take the floor and run with it.
So you can find me on Instagram at EdenG_Malloy. That's mainly what I post on. I'll post tournaments. I'll post like what I'm doing, where I'm going. I'll post my dog. I'll post definitely a lot of Who Def stuff. And I have a discount if you're interested in getting a new paddle or some new apparel. I have a 15% discount for Who Def that you can use. I have a link in my bio and a QR code you can scan. So,
wow, that's pretty darn exciting. Hell, I don't even have stuff like that. And so here you've got there it is. And there's for everybody watching on TV, you can see here's the paddle for pickleball. And it looks similar to a tennis racket, but not.
Mhm.
And it kind of reminds me of the old smash ball game. Remember that, Mitch, from the beach? There's a smash ball game. It's
Oh,
kind of,
yeah.
you know, you have the ball, you whack it back and forth, but there's no rules. It's to keep the rally going.
Right. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of rules in pickleball.
Yeah.
It's like I'm constantly breaking them.
Oh,
All
yeah.
4 times I've played.
Right. Well, I guess, listen, you would be a rock star that can play, but me personally, I've never played, but I'd like to play at some point. Maybe on my next trip down to Destin, you'll have to show me how to play this. And who knows, maybe we'll get Annalie Waters on with you on the show, which that's something that I talked to somebody very close to her about yesterday. So we'll see. Maybe we can arrange for that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that would be great. She said hello via video to Eden, which was really nice. But we haven't
like the number one club in the world, right?
Yeah, we haven't met her officially yet, but Eden is officially working with Jack now. So
that's good stuff. And folks, we're going to have that guy, Jack. Jack's been on our show before. You don't know who he is just yet, but if you search up and down the featured guest list for the Sports Circus, you'll see, just go ahead and do a Control F for find on your keyboard and just type in Jack. There's only a couple of people named Jack that's been on the show, and we'll let him talk about himself when the time is right. All right, Mitch, listen, you've got 1 minute to talk about your music and everything again, because Eden, I'll tell you what, we're going to bring you back for sure. And I'm going to bring back Mitch, but I want Mitch to tell everybody about the new music, how to get it, and where to find it, and so forth.
Well, this is kind of a window into my soul, I guess you could say, musically anyway. I spent the last year making this record, so I'm really excited about it, very proud of it. Here you go. And you can get it at mitchmalloy.com. And all the links are at mitchmalloy.com. There's videos, there's history of my career, everything that I've done pretty much that's pertinent to my career is on mitchmalloy.com.
All right, that's good stuff. And folks, in case you didn't hear that song, we're going to go ahead and we're taking you out. We're going to see you in about 23 hours right here on your favorite station. So enjoy the music, and we'll see you next time right here on your favorite station.
Thanks, Sal.
Thank you.
You've been living lonely. Yeah, you've been lonely too long. You feel like you want it only. Like you don't belong. Wondering, seems like you try. Cause you've been heading the wrong path. You've been taking the wrong direction. You are anything you want. Stop trying to be someone else. Open your heart and your mind. Just be yourself. Be one of a kind. It's a life sentence. Yeah, it's a life lost. It's all a repentance. Yeah, all a great cause. Searching for some sanity to be where you. Something's gotta change. If you don't stay safe.
With that, please.
You can take it all.
Okay, that has stopped. We'll leave the stream on for just a moment here until I go ahead and clear that out. And hopefully the audience enjoyed this. It was kind of it was a fun and different and unexpected show. And that's kind of what we do here, folks. In case you're still watching on the stream, we never know what the heck's going to happen here on this show. We really don't. And look, even when I had Mel on the show, Mel had no idea that Rick was going to call in and pop in on the show. And it happened that Rick knew his dad. I guess he's a big follower of the Yankees from back in the day. They had great dialogue between them, and it was gold for the audience. Nobody expected it. And it happened that Mel had a fishing charter company. That's what they talk about. They talked about fishing. It was great because nobody expected it. And that's the best part about what we do here on this show, because truly nobody knows what the heck is going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream. Mitch, say goodbye to everybody. Eden, and I want you to stick around for just another second.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. Thanks, Val, so much.